The afternoon sun burned fiercely over Ilé-Ayọba, turning the earth red and dry. The air stood still, heavy and unforgiving, when a strange figure appeared at the edge of the village. He walked slowly, dragging his feet as though the ground itself resisted him. His head was abnormally large, drawing fearful glances from everyone who noticed. Angry boils covered his scalp, some fresh, some dried and cracked. His face was swollen, twisted by hunger and pain, and his eyes were red and sunken like those of a man who had not known rest or kindness for a long time. His clothes hung loosely on his body, torn and filthy, carrying the smell of sweat and decay. Dust clung to his skin. At first glance, he looked less like a man and more like a curse that had escaped from the forest. The village froze. Women carrying firewood stopped mid-step. Market women clutched their baskets in fear. Old men leaned on their staffs and stared silently. Whispers spread. Who is that? Where did he come from? Is he even human? Some women covered their noses in disgust. Men spat on the ground. Children followed him, laughing cruelly and shouting words they did not understand. Ugly monster. Leave our village. You will bring bad luck to Ilé-Ayọba. The stranger stopped at the center of the square. His body trembled as he struggled to speak. Please, food, water, he whispered. I am hungry. Instead of pity, stones answered him. One struck his leg. Another hit his back. Soon more followed, flying from every direction. He cried out, raising his arms to shield his head as pain tore through his body. Go back to the forest. Disappear from this place. He fell to his knees, dust coating his face. No one stepped forward. No one asked his name. No one cared to hear his story. No one, except Moráyọ. She stood quietly at the edge of the crowd, her heart pounding. Moráyọ was young and gentle, an orphan raised by her grandmother in a small mud house at the far end of the village. Life had shaped her with hardship, but it had also filled her with compassion. As the stone struck the stranger, something tightened in her chest. It felt as though each stone landed on her own skin. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her mind. A human being is still a human being, no matter the face they wear. When the crowd finally tired and walked away, Moráyọ remained behind, watching as the wounded stranger crawled toward the edge of the village and disappeared under an abandoned hut. That night, when Ilé-Ayọba grew quiet and cooking fires died, Moráyọ made a choice. She scooped a small portion of food into a bowl. It was not much, but it was all she had. She filled a calabash with clean water and stepped into the darkness, her heart trembling with fear and resolve. She found the stranger sitting beneath the broken hut, his head bowed low, his body heavy with despair. Without a word, she placed the food and water beside him. Before he could lift his head or speak, she turned and fled. The stranger stared at the bowl in disbelief. Then at the water. His hands shook as he reached out. Tears fell freely, soaking the food as he cried silently beneath the night sky. Far away, beyond forest and rivers, the truth of the stranger slept quietly. His name was Adegbola. He was the only son of a powerful king, heir to a wealthy kingdom where gold-lined palace walls and servants filled every corridor. Raised to rule, respected by all, Adegbola was also blessed with extraordinary beauty. People praised his face more than his character, his appearance more than his heart. When he came of age, his father summoned him. It is time to marry, the king said. Women of noble birth and royal blood filled the palace, each praising his looks and bowing before his future crown. Yet as Adegbola looked into their eyes, he felt nothing but emptiness. They loved the crown, he told his father. Not the man who will wear it. With his parents' blessing, he left the palace to search for true love. Before he departed, his mother placed a small, shiny mirror in his hands. This mirror reveals truth, she said softly. Your journey will change you. Do not fear it. On the road, curiosity led Adegbola to look into the mirror. Pain consumed him. His beauty vanished. His head grew large. Boils covered his skin. His fine clothes turned to rags. When the pain faded, a monster stared back at him. From that day, Adegbolo walked as an outcast, chased, mocked, and rejected, until fate led him to Ilé-Ayọba. Every evening, Mariomi returned to him. Food. Water. Silence. Sometimes they spoke, sometimes they did not. But her presence brought peace to a heart long bruised by cruelty. The villagers mocked her openly. They called her mad. They insulted her grandmother. Children followed her, singing cruel songs. Still, she returned. One evening, the stranger asked, "Why do you help me?" She replied softly, "I cannot change your face. But I can give you peace." Love grew quietly between them, unseen but strong. Then one morning, he was gone. Days passed. Mariomi's heart broke. She waited, searched, and cried, but he did not return. Far away, the mirror released Adegbolo. His curse was broken. His beauty restored. Yet his heart belonged to the girl who had fed him when he was nothing. A royal procession thundered into Ilé-Ayọba. Gold gleamed. Drums shook the earth. Guards marched straight to Mariomi's home. Before her stood a handsome prince. "It is me," he said gently. Adegbolo. He knelt in the dust before her and asked for her hand in marriage. She accepted. The village bowed in shame. Mariomi left Ilé-Ayọba as a bride and entered the palace as a queen. She ruled with kindness, carrying compassion like a crown upon her head. And the people remembered the lesson long after. Do not judge by the face. Kindness sees what eyes cannot.